Welcome, everyone, to the 70th episode of Playtest This. After, I don't, gosh, how long have I been doing it? Almost 2 years now? 2 years? Something like that. And we have our special guest designer, Stephen Vesci. And we have a star-studded panel, Brian Picarillo and Samuel Barmettler. Samuel Barmettler, who are you, and why would people know who you are?
Uh, More likely you know me actually if you're watching this channel because you've watched this channel before. So Sam Barmettler, Around the Stump Games LLC. I have one published title out there, Outrun the Bear, and working on number two, hopefully towards the end of this year, going live with it. But Button Kingdom is a game of fluff and corruption, but essentially a stuffed animals Game of Thrones. So enjoying the playtesting and checking out Steve's Hiss.
Nice. Brian, what the heck are you doing here? And what are you working on?
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm a game designer out of Maine with Emberleaf Games. Working to launch a cooperative fantasy skirmish Kickstarter for Fame and Fortune in July.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. Steven, tell the kids at home who the heck you are and what you're working on.
I'm a designer out of the Cleveland area. If you're in that area, check out protospiels.org to find our Discord and design meetups. I hit a lot of the Midwest Protospiels. I've been designing as a late night hobby for 7 years or so. Nothing published yet, but I do have two signed. Hopefully by the end of this year, we'll see something. Waiting on information on those. Um, but this one is a light, meant to be family friendly skirmish game. I have a game that's like Selfish Council of Elrond. I've been working on for it's the first one I started. I'm working on a Euro type city builder, but on a Connect 4 board. Uh, those are the big ones right now that I'm working on.
Awesome. Well, with further ado,
Who are you?
Yeah, who are you,
me.
Evan?
All right, you caught me. I am Evan Albert. The game you could go buy right now potentially is After the Empire, which we have an expansion that is in playtesting right now, and so hopefully that'll come out at some point in the coming year or so, and then a bunch of other side games that will come out over the next several years. I don't know. It's been a long day. But yeah, if you don't know who I am and you're watching this channel, that would be hilarious. But I'm excited to be here. Sam, thanks for showing up. Brian, thanks for coming. Stephen, give us the teach.
Absolutely. All right. So this is Hiss. As I said, it's meant to be a family-friendly skirmish game to get your kids excited about possibly future in miniatures wargaming or just strategy gaming in general. So it has steampunk cats flying airships trying to control this battlefield. So you will pick a pair of cats. Feel free to do that now. Either a cat that you like or a color that you like, and pick a pair, so two of them, and grab those into your little area there. I do have these models in here. We'll see how well they work in Tabletop Simulator. I also have these little tokens that we can swap to if the models are getting cumbersome. So your goal is to control this battlefield to the tune of 10 victory points. You will get a point by scoring a hit on another cat. No cats will be harmed. They will all be repaired and back onto the board next round if they take a hit. You also get points by taking out ground targets, which I'll explain in a minute. You each have a pile of those targets that will be hiding Stratego style on our little circles here. So if you can use some of your bomb weapons to take those out of your opponents, you'll get points for those. You get points for scoring a hit on the other ships. Since we're testing at 3 players, and that's something I've been struggling to find a good thing, trying one other thing here where you'll get a point if you are the only player with ships in this middle area, controlling the center of the battlefield at the end of a round. So we'll give a point for that as well. Game will be to 10, hoping it takes about 30 minutes, plus whatever tabletop simulator attacks in time we have here. And okay, so I'm gonna start moving your pieces, Evan, just for
please.
starting to teach here. So we'll have your ships there. Oh, did you lock these down?
I did.
You can reposition them for the minute. The thing I want to teach is that this set of weapons goes with the purple ship, and this set of weapons goes with the tan ship, and try and keep them separated.
Mhm.
On your
Okay.
turn, we have kind of simultaneous turns. You'll be picking one of these movement cards. You probably see them over here, huh? I'm in Game
I've got
Master
'em
mode,
in
so I
my
can see
hand.
them all. Yeah. So everyone has the same set of movement cards. You'll be picking one per cat face down, and every player will flip them at the same time. They each have an initiative number. The highest initiative ones will go first. If there's a tie on initiative, it'll be broken by this token here. Who is the last person to have pet a cat?
Ooh, it's tough.
To a pet a cat,
To have pet a cat, yes.
it's going to be a long time for me. I'm not a cat fan.
I do
None of
like
us are cats.
I do like
All right.
cats, but I think it's been a few days
Well, you might win
Try
with
a
a few days.
because I don't have a cat in the house. But
So Evan will start with a tiebreaker.
yeah.
When you lose a tiebreaker, it passes to you.
Okay.
All right, so you'll pick one of these movement cards, put it face down on each cat. Everyone will do that at the same time. We'll flip them at the same time. This one has 6. You'll probably go first there. You simply follow the movement pattern on that, and this is positional movement, so it'd be a little different. So right now, we're here facing forward. Actually, these models, what is forward on these models? I think that's forward. Again, if that gets too confusing, we can swap to the little tokens. But this one is simply go one space forward. Oh wait, did you lock it? No. If for later in the round you were facing this way and you played this card, you would then go that way, one space forward. That's a bad example. Let's start with this one. If you had played this one, you would turn left and go forward. So you'll do that in descending initiative order. After you've done that, you can use one of your gadgets, which is anything with a green border. Everyone has 2 basic gadgets. You have your gun, electro blaster. The basic one can shoot the 2 hexes straight in front of you. And you have your basic bomb, which can bomb a target directly under you. Your weapons can only hit other ships, and the bombs can only hit these ground targets, which we'll put down in a minute. So a weapon can never hit a ground target, a bomb can never hurt another ship. And then you have one other thing here, which is upgrade, which was where you can get more of them. Put out a little market here. So if you upgrade, you can grab one of these. This one, for example, is another weapon. So you could give that to this cat, and then they would have a weapon that shoots kind of like in a cone in front of them. And that could increase your targeting there. There's other ones that will adjust your bombing and things, make you faster, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you make your move, use one gadget, and generally that is the end of your turn. If you're shooting another ship, there's a die here. You'll roll that die. 1. There's usually some modifier on the weapon. This one says +1, so that'd be a 2. And that would have to beat the armor of your target. So let's say you were shooting at blue ship here. Blue ship has armor 4. The 2 would not have beaten the 4, so it would be a miss. And that is how the shooting works. The bombing is always a hit. As long as you can get in position and you choose to bomb, you'll hit the thing.
Cool.
So far, so good?
Yep.
Yes, no, maybe?
I'm pretty lost, but I'll catch up.
Okay. Apologies for that.
No, not a problem. Long work day.
I was on I was on mute. Should I have picked 2 cats or should I just have 1?
You put up 2.
Okay.
All right. You will start by positioning your 2 ships on any 2 of the 3 little airstrips on your corner of the board. And then we'll start talking about our ground targets. So these are for higher player counts. 1, 2. Get rid of one of these as well. All right. Every player also has a set of ground targets. You have your fuel depot worth 3 points. You have your headquarters worth 5. You have a bunch of bunkers worth 1, and you have some anti-aircraft guns. 1, 2, 3. I'm adjusting on the fly for 3 players. Let's get rid of one of these. All right, so you should have 1 fuel depot, 1 headquarters, and 5 bunkers. And then there's a +1 gun and a +2 gun. I will get rid of some of the excess I have for different player counts. No, these are still tanks. They used to be tanks. I thought I had changed them all. No worries. Okay. So you'll put those face down and hide those in any configuration you want on your colored dots. And your job will be to defend those from the other players and find the high value targets of your opponents. If you're comfortable, you can go ahead and do that now. I believe, if I'm remembering there's a Alt. No, Shift Alt. Yes, Shift Alt will let you peek at what's under it when it is face down. Oh, you guys are swapping that. That's fine.
Well, I'm
trying to
green,
put 'em
right?
close.
So should I have the green ones? Or
You're
am I
in the
red?
green seat, but there's red
Oh.
circles. I didn't line those up well. Apologies for that.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter
it doesn't
as long as
matter,
you
okay.
remember who's who.
Alright.
They're all the same. But yeah, if you want to turn them face down, Shift Alt will let you peek underneath them
These are all the
when
same.
you are pointing.
On the front and the back.
Yeah, on the back they're all the same.
No.
Mine are the same thing on both sides.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I can just copy like his that are normal.
Yeah, why don't you do that? My apologies.
Oh, I can't.
I need 5 bunkers that don't have bunkers on the back.
These have bunkers on the back. Oh man. Well, this is my
You
tabletop.
want to just copy the entire red set to
Oh yeah,
Is
let's
that
just copy the red set. Delete. Oh, I can't delete.
We're not.
I don't have
Yeah,
the
we're not.
power.
Could you copy and paste us some red sets?
Yeah, me.
Unlimited power.
My apologies. I was trying to update things.
I believe all of us know the TTS scramble before a playtest.
Yeah.
You need at least an hour.
All right. I fixed the blue ones.
I need at least a week.
Did you make a copy of the red ones?
Oh, we can't.
Oh,
Yeah, we
you're all being promoted.
Yeah. Unlimited power.
All right. My apologies.
Skidoink. Skidoo. Whoa.
So yeah, there's 1 5-point target, 1 3-point target, a bunch of ones, and then one gun with +1 and one gun with +2.
Whoa. There we go.
I'm realizing I put snap points on for the 2-player map, but the snap points are not good for the 3-player map. I will start removing those.
Yeah, it's working. It's working. Oh, unless we're trying to move the ships around, yeah, that might make it weird.
Yeah, it'll be a problem as we go on. Very useful for the.
I was on mute again. I think we're good now.
Yeah. All right. More TTS glitches. Sorry about that. I have not actually done a TTS playtest for quite a while.
I know actually the only time I use TTS anymore is Thursday nights.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I think we're all ready to go. So just a quick reminder. So everyone has the same set of movement cards. You will assign one card to each cat. We will flip them over at the same time. The highest initiative ones will go first. Tiebreakers will be starting with this thing and clockwise from that. You lose a tiebreaker, you get the tiebreaker marker for the next time. When your turn comes up from the initiative, you make that move, and then you use one of your green bordered items, and everyone has the same starting ones. You have your basic gun, your bomb, and then you can grab an upgrade as well instead of those things. You get a point by scoring a hit on another ship. You get a point by taking out a target that is worth points, and you get a point by being the only person occupying the center at the end of the round. I feel like enough to get started.
Yeah.
What if ships end up occupying the same space?
That's totally fine.
Okay. Oh.
There are little asymmetries on all the cats. I will say let's not do those for now. Maybe we'll turn those on
Oh,
later.
don't do that? Okay. No tactical retreat. Or a wing and a prayer. Ignore that.
Well, it sounded like my teach wasn't great or there was some confusion. So we'll do a round or two and then see if we want to turn those on.
Okay.
All right.
So are we ready to get playing?
Looks like green player is still.
I think
All right.
so.
Okay,
I'm good.
go ahead and
Alrighty,
flip them.
let's do it. So then we all reveal.
Mhm.
Okay. Fiver and a tour.
All right. So highest initiative, I think, is 6. Looks like green has a 6 there.
Yep.
So go ahead and make that move. Make sure you keep your cat color straight.
Okay.
So you made your move. You could use your weapon if there was anyone in range. There's not. You could use your bomb if you were over a target. You're not. So you probably want to do the upgrade. So there's a little market of upgrades you can grab there.
Nice.
Is there a limited amount that I can have, or can I have as many as I want?
At the moment, no. I may put one in at some point. But generally, if you're grabbing an upgrade, you're not scoring. So piling them up. The game generally only
Yeah, that's
lasts
true.
6-7 rounds.
Okay.
All right.
When
So
can
that,
I can use it as if it, like on my next turn, when I'm playing a card, I could use it.
yeah, a lot of them are green bordered, so you could use that as your thing after your move. Some of them are white bordered, and they're just kind of like passive, constantly effect.
Okay.
And also keep them straight between the two. So if you grab one, make sure you know which cat has it.
Okay, great.
I know the table's a little tight.
+1 unit. +1. Oh,
You may want to
initially.
put some space in between your plackers or something.
Got it.
All right. I will back off driving a little bit, but please let me know if you would like me to resume. Do we know who's next?
So I think you
I
gave
have 5, and you have
I
5, but
think
you
you
go
gave that
first.
ability to the wrong cat.
Oh, can I not give it to a different cat? It's this cat, the cat I'm activating is the one that gets it.
Yeah. That's how steampunk
Okay.
cats work.
Okay. Got it.
And then we're doing 5s, and you and I both have a 5, but I have the tiebreaker. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so I go "Pachoosh." Coming in for some fighting times. And I do have a ship within 2 hexes. So I will roll a die. What do I need to do to hit him?
So,
Roll greater than a 3.
so the weapon you have should have a number on it, which I'm
Yep, +1.
realizing +1, and then whatever you roll +1 has to beat their armor, not die.
Is to
Alright,
beat
so 4.
their armor. So I would need to roll a 4. Because I'm rolling with a +1.
Yeah, yep.
I think I'm probably going to miss. So instead of that, I'm going to get Gettard's Slide Rule. And that was my number 5.
And then when you use a tiebreaker, pass it to the loser of the tiebreak.
Okay.
Okay, I like that. And then I go
Indeed.
with mine.
Captain Whiskerbeard.
So I'll go here, and then I'll take this one.
I hadn't refilled if you wanted one other option.
I'll take that one then.
Oh, okay. Wait, where'd it go? Okay.
This is then
Oh, wow. Man,
Yeah, I like
Brooks
this.
Fractal Field. Oh, okay.
Okay, that's me.
And then the 2s, there's 3 of us. So we go
Mhm.
clockwise from the tiebreaker.
Correct.
And then I
Okay.
get it. Does he do both of his and then I get it? Or he does one of his and then I get it and then I go? Wait, yeah. So it was here.
Yeah, he would win the first tiebreaker, so he could move either of his,
Uh-huh.
and then you
And
would
then it
go,
goes
and then he
to
would go.
me, and then I
Yeah.
win that tiebreak, and then it goes to him. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, that feels like one too many passes, but I don't have a more elegant solution
That's
at the
fine.
moment.
That's fine. Okay, so take your first maneuver.
So then, what are my options here after I move? That's kind of what I wasn't understanding,
Oh, did you
or
rotate
what
your
tells
ship?
me. Yeah.
So after, yeah, make sure you rotate it. That's Q and E on TTS.
Okay.
think I have it set to 30-degree rotations.
Let me move this one. And
That's not. That's not the movement.
What?
Oh, you're
No.
moving the red one. Red one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm moving the red one.
Oh,
Forward.
yeah, you got it.
Okay, there we go. Got it.
Okay. Yeah, so after you move, you can use one of your green bordered
Okay.
abilities. So right now that's shooting 2 spaces ahead, bombing underneath you, or grabbing an upgrade.
I guess I
The
will grab it.
upgrades, you'll have a few more options. Cool.
All right, and then it's me. And then this will pass back to you for your next guy after I'm done. But I go, badoink. And then I turn, knock the tile, put the ship.
Yeah, it looks like these ships you have to kind of grab by the base and not the hull.
And then I'm not in a position to shoot anybody, right? Because I have to be facing the right direction or
Yep.
straight ahead, yeah. So I will grab. Is this Woo's particle wave? Is that up to 3 hexes away or exactly 3 hexes away?
That is exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna take the. That's cool too. I'm gonna take this.
Okey
Oh,
doke.
where'd it go?
I think it went in your hand.
Oh, there we go. Alrighty.
And then I'm just returning this for having moved it. I'll go ahead and take this one.
Okey doke. All right. So that is the end of the first round. No one is solely in possession of the center, so no one gets a point there. So you pick up your movement cards and you do it again.
Okay.
I will really try not to drive, but please yell if you're stuck.
Okay.
Things I'm testing for, particularly in this one, this is a more compressed 3-player board than last time I tried it, which was too big and kind of dull, too much space in between. And I threw a couple new upgrades in here. I'm kind of curious if they seem interesting or goofy. So I'm kind of watching what you take and what you don't take.
Cool.
Of course, any and all feedback welcome. But I am kind of happy to get the 3-player test. I haven't gotten enough of those.
All right. Oh, almost.
What are these for?
If the chips models prove too clunky, we'll replace them
Oh.
with those.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
No, I think they're okay.
Yeah,
Looks
okay.
looks like everybody's ready.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Doop, doop, doop.
I'm using the Scythe Wind Gambit models for the physical predict.
Looks like number 6 over there.
Mhm.
Old Lieutenant Pawtucket.
I move ahead 1, and then go ahead and use this gadget.
Ah. Fancy.
At the green ship. So I roll 1 die and I've got +2 on it, and I have to roll higher than the 3 armor.
Correct.
All right.
Oh, it's only an armor 3. Ooh.
Yeah, to simplify things, I turned off their abilities. The better abilities have worse armor.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay.
Maybe we'll turn them back on after this round. Okay, so that's a hit.
You shooting in my green ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you re-roll that.
Okay.
Or I know, I
Yeah,
just set the value. So I just set the value of it to 1.
Oh.
Bing bang.
So that matches his armor.
that doesn't work.
Yeah.
You gotta beat it.
Cool.
Jim Jam.
Ah,
All right, I'll explain how a hit works again next time it comes up.
Okay, so that was number 6. So now we got several 3s. And I am next in clockwise order, so this will go over here, and I will take my 3. So this sucker is gonna rotate, dook, and take a step forward.
All right. So when you fly over a target, you get to flip it over, see what it is, and then you can decide whether you're bombing it
Oh, I
or
flip
doing
over
something
it?
else.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then I am gonna the quantum wheel means I can start strafing and stuff. I can turn a direction and then move the direction the card tells me.
The intention was you have like a turn left, turn right. You could play the turn left and then choose to turn right after you see all the flips. If you have better wording, we suggest it.
Right. So, but like, let's say this card here, it says move forward, turn right, and then go in that direction.
You could move forward and turn left instead.
And then, but still then go this direction, so I'm strafing.
No, that's not the intention. I did make this card today, so I
So
will.
the intention is that I would actually be changing the direction I'm traveling, not just the
Yeah.
direction I'm facing.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. I will take the Leeuwenhoek's lens. Does that immediately take effect?
No, it's a green thing. So if you're using your green thing to grab an upgrade, you would have to use that on a future round as a green thing.
Never mind. I don't want to do that. I'm going to take this instead.
Okay.
Cool. Done.
I'm just realizing that the Lady Cheshire has a +1 initiative to her rolls, which I think this is a 4, but it wasn't gonna affect what you did. So
Oh, okay, yeah. So you go first,
yeah,
and then the 3s thing, and then I go, and then this would still be in the same spot, and then you would go. Okay, got it.
yeah, yep. So I move there, and I'll take this one. And that's me.
And then now it's your other captain's turn.
Okay. Yeah, so and I'll take this one so that Evan can talk about it in the feedback section.
You already know what I'm going to say about that? 14. Whoa, alright. So you did your guy who was a 3.
Yeah, I've
Now
done
it's-
both of mine.
So now it's the 2s. So now it's
Mm-hmm.
right there, and then I get this.
And all right.
Where'd you go? Whoa, you're heading from stuff? It's fine. So now, oh, you took that thing, huh? Rude. Whoa. What's the afterburner maneuver?
Have a set aside here. But it's the same as you can see there. You move
Oh,
3.
okay. Alright, fancy. Okay, cool. So this guy is gonna move forward. And then turn. No. And then turn. And then move forward. And
You will flip that over when you pass it.
oh, yep. Good.
Ooh.
Oh, I should have. And if I shoot that, I get 5 points.
If you bomb it.
That's what I meant to say. But I'm already past it, so I cannot bomb it. But I can attack this here green ship. Because I'm facing it. And I have a +2 to that roll. So a 2 + 2 is a 4.
Yes, exactly what you had, Triple.
So what happens?
So that is a hit.
Yeah.
When you hit a thing temporarily off the board, it'll come back next round.
Okay.
And take one of the upgrade cards face down as like a score pile.
Oh.
The meaning to put like a +1 on it.
Okay.
I haven't
Cool.
yet. Okay. Is that the end of the round?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did people want to turn on the asymmetries or just keep it simpler for now?
I'm good anyway.
I'm good with them.
Yeah, mine's fine.
So just real quick, the tan ship Purrington can kind of skip his turn and just go off the board because he's going to get shot down. Kitty Hawk can keep flying even when she's hit. She'll go off the board at the end of the round. Pawtucket is immune to anti-aircraft guns. No one's tripped one yet. Clautavia has a very strong attack if she can get on top of someone. Whiskerbeard can use 2 different gadgets each round, and Cheshire breaks ties, ignoring the priority marker.
Okay, and then what happens to my ship?
Oh, you can replace it on any of the starting airships.
Oh, really?
Hey now. Whoa. Captain Whiskerbeard's pretty good with that power.
Yeah. I'm good.
That looks like Sam's got one more.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Baroness
also why he has
Pontivia.
crappy armor.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Whoop. Whoop.
Okay, so you have a 6. I have a 6. I also have a 5+1, and I ignore ties. So I'm gonna assume that Cheshire goes first,
That's what
and
it
then
seems like.
the tiebreaker thing means
Would-
I get
would
to go
be
again,
next.
and then you go.
Well, no, I have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, but you don't have a 6, right?
I do have a 6.
Oh, yeah, that's you. Okay.
So I think
Okay,
it'll
so I go, then you go, then I go.
Yeah.
That's fine because that ship's purple. All right. So this guy's gonna move too. I flip this over now. Right?
Jambo.
And then I can use my thing. And can I just
Absolutely.
keep I can do this every turn, right?
Yes, but it's like your thing. You wouldn't be able to shoot or bomb
Oh.
while you're doing that.
And Evans over the one white space. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll just flip all these over.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Why is one of them a telescope that's highlighted?
Because the previous version you could only do one, and I buffed it because no one was using it.
Okay, so what I did
And I
is
didn't
cool.
update the picture.
All right, cool. Yeah, that felt good. All right, I'm done. Sam.
Cool. So now it's Kitty Hawk. Unfortunately. Who's going to move forward. And then we will flip that suckaroonie. And then I will bomb my current hex and the one behind it. With my
Winning.
bombard. So do I just take those tokens or?
You just take them.
Okay. Whoa! Alright. That was my action.
Alright.
So then it's back to
That's me.
Whiskerbeard.
Yep. I will move one space.
And that was a tie. So you actually have this now too. Whoa.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Whoa. Rude.
You can just get shot, or you can retreat. Oh, I guess you have to do it on your turn.
I don't. Yeah, that would be on my turn. I don't
I guess
see
you're
the
getting
benefit.
shot.
I don't really see the benefit of doing that anyway. But
I probably won't hit you. I have to actually roll a 6.
we'll see. I hope not.
5. All right. Oh, I get +1 though.
What?
So it is a 6.
All right. I get hit, so now I'm off the board.
Get out of here.
Get
And
out
then
of
that
here.
player take a card as a point.
Cool. That's me.
Yeah. So Evan, your other one's a 1.
My other one's a 1, yeah.
All right, so I get to, or I move freely in place. And then I will go ahead and this one. Fire with the celestial scatter shot. And this one. The cream one.
Celestial Scattershot.
That's a 5 total.
Yeah.
That hits, right?
Where's your scatter shot?
Right here.
Oh. Sweet. Yep. So I get shot down.
Yeah.
You get a point.
And then I move right one and turned.
I was like, what did I put there? That's probably not good.
It's a bunker, but I'll go ahead. Yeah, I'll go ahead and bomb it.
Cool. And then my turn. So what do I do on my turn? When my ship's off the board?
Well, that one was damaged, so it would not get a turn.
Oh, okay.
You come back at the beginning of the round.
So I don't understand what my ability does.
So say that you would just bomb, say that if that ability was on the purple ship, you had
Uh-huh.
just gotten your big target, but they were probably closing in on you. You might use that to deny them a point. And get back in position to maybe go towards the other one.
But that'd be instead of bombing.
At the well, yeah, I mean, it would be instead of basically your turn.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the weakest one. That's why he has armor 5.
Okay. I don't see a situation in which I would use it.
That's fair. I might change it.
So on my turn, I do nothing.
The one that shot down, yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I get points for this, right?
You do.
How are those tracked?
Same way, just use those cards.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a +1
And
on
it's 1 point
the
for
end.
that.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. So it's 7 to 3 to 1. We want to do another round or two?
Yeah.
At the end of the round? Yeah.
Yeah. So how is my next turn gonna work? Just so I know what card to play.
Oh, at the beginning of the round, you can place that tan ship on any of your airstrips in any direction.
Okay.
And you should actually do that before cards are chosen.
Okay. Let's see. Obviously, we'll come on back down here. Okay. What is this? If I land on this, what does that do?
If you pass over it at all, even if you don't land on it, it will shoot at you the same way that a cat would is just +1 to the die roll.
I see.
And there's a +2 one as well.
And do the tanks do anything? But they just tanks.
They don't. In fact, that's why I changed them to bunkers, but apparently they didn't all get updated. People come in the tanks to do stuff.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
The cogwheel turn. There's a couple of rotating arrows on that. Is that actually turning a ship at all?
I'm trying to give the impression of like looping back. The net result is you move 2 spaces backwards and you're facing the same direction.
Okay.
haven't found a great way to represent that with arrows.
Sorry, I'm being slow. Whoop. Whoop. Right. Ready. Five and a 2.
1-1.
2-2s.
All right. My 5er will move forward twice and pick up. Oh, it's fancy. Afterburners. Oh no, I might as well just shoot, huh? Yeah, I'll shoot. You're within range. Greenie. All right. 6 plus 2. That'll do it.
He was gonna go next. Oh, so this 4 is good to go. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's possible for me to beat Evan to this over here. So I'm just going to rotate because I'm rotating freely and attack this one
What?
with my scatter gun.
What? All right.
So that's a 7.
El Toasdale. Oh wait, wing and a prayer. I stay up. Sorry. Whoop.
Cool.
So that was your
That was my 4.
4. So now it's all the 2s, and you, Brian, you have the marker. So you're gonna take one of your 2s first and hand me the
Yeah,
marker.
this guy's dead. This guy's dead. So
Yeah.
Okay. Green. Oh no, green's dead. White's
Damage.
still alive.
Damage. No,
There we
no
go.
kitties were harmed.
Oh, damage.
Not dead. Just mostly dead.
White moves forward, then turns right. And that's it.
Pick up another.
I can get an upgrade for her, I guess. I'll use this one.
Kitty Hawk. It's gonna go forward, rotate, forward, and obviously take the 3 points.
And then it's just down to my 1.
Yep.
All right. Move back the 2. Then oh, yeah, I'll take that.
That's pretty dang cool.
So what's the end game condition?
Well, I was just about to say, so I had stated it at 10. In a 2-player game, it's 10 points. Evan, I believe, has 11. Four-player
yeah.
game is 12.
Mm.
I can't say I know the right answer for 3 yet. I haven't done enough tests in 3. But if this feels like a good place to end, I'm totally happy to end it here. Because I think 10 is probably the ending point normally for 3 players. But if people want to do another round, I'm totally cool for that as well. I could just minus 12.
Up to you guys. I'm good either way.
Well,
I
I
feel like
don't
my
think
feedback would be the same
Right.
after another round.
Okay. Yeah. Sam?
Congratulations, Evan.
I've done it.
Yeah, I also have no horse in the race, so I'm a little biased.
Eric weighed in on the name of my cat's power. Should be 9 lives instead of wing and a prayer. Okay, cool. Should we move on to feedback?
I'm good with that as usual. I don't know if you have a normal process for that
We
or
do, but
okay.
if you have something you want us specifically to focus on during our feedback, please let us know. Anything specific or just
Yeah, so specifically with the 3-player one, I've been wrestling with the shape of the board. Like I said, this one was a lot more compact than previous versions, possibly too much so. So I'd be very interested in how you felt about, like, was it too cramped? Were you too close? Did it end too fast? Was it too easy to bust through? And then, like I said, I had thrown in some newer cards to I hadn't updated this deck for a while, so I threw in some new things there. So if anything stood out as too goofy or too weird or too useless or too useful, I would love to hear that as well. And then, of course, any other opinions or suggestions would be more than welcome as well.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Brian, Sam, who wants to start it off?
I guess I could go first.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's another game that uses some kind of similar spatial movement that I've played that uses a very different system and how it does it. And like me and my buddy who played that game together, like we talk about that game constantly, even though that it's not out yet. So
Okay.
I really like that. I like the general hex movement and how everything in this feels kind of floaty. That one is a zero gravity game. This one, it's kind of similar. You're in an airship, so all of the movement feels very floaty. It, on the one hand, it feels like I'm like, man, I can't really go exactly where I want to go. I don't have as much control as I really can see myself wanting. But on the other hand, it feels very accurate. It feels very much like I'm piloting an airship.
That was
So
the intention. So I'm happy, question mark. To hear that.
no, I think you did a good job on hitting that, on giving that feel. So that's really cool. I didn't catch right off the bat, and it wasn't your fault at all. It was literally I could not see your hand moving around to understand what pieces were what pieces during the teach. So that's why I was lost. But once we got into the gameplay, very easy to understand what we're doing. So definitely points there. The designs that I've worked on are family level, and I think that for the most part, your core mechanics work there. So I think that's pretty cool. The first thing that I was kind of thrown by was it did appear that the cats were going to be asymmetric, but then we just picked whatever ones we wanted in a game that felt more strategic. So it was like, how do we determine who gets to pick those? What if somebody picks my favorite cat? And especially because different cats could play very different ways. Like, yeah, Evan's combination here. Well, Evan didn't see the value in skipping the turn on this one. Oh, that could be great value to be able to reposition yourself and line yourself up towards victory points that somebody else has revealed. Like, especially in the 3-player, like that could be huge.
Okay.
And then this one, just not being able to take it out meant there was nothing we could actually do to stop Evan from the win. So
Yeah, I was a little dismayed about that, so we'll have to think about that one
yeah, but they open up very different play styles, and that's pretty
for sure.
cool. But also, if the game is always pick two cats, and then like it's just pick your two cats. Well, what if somebody picks my favorite cat?
Then you just
So
start
yeah,
petting more cats more frequently.
yeah, no.
Well, yeah, yeah, you got
Okay.
to win the arbitrary rule tiebreaker for who gets it. Yeah, you could do a draft or something. Honestly, I haven't thought about that too much. Um, the asymmetry is somewhat recent development
Mhm.
um on it, so I haven't fully fleshed that out. I assume, some sort of drafts for advanced players or just random for less advanced players. Or less advanced players may not use those at all.
Okay.
And there would probably be a flip side of the card without that, and all the armors would be set to the same number or something like that.
Okay. Cool. Um, my other piece of kind of critical feedback in this, which I think actually kind of comes down to what you were asking about, is this map too compact? Is the game felt that it ended as soon as it really began.
Sure.
Like it didn't feel like we got going enough. What was this? 3 rounds?
I think it was five.
It was 5 rounds?
It was 4 or 5.
No.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna
Okay.
bring the 2-player map out as a comparison, but it's a little too big.
Mhm.
Just off to the side or something.
Okay.
It's gonna fall off. I believe it was 5 rounds. I don't know if people thought it was 4. Um, Evan,
So
you were
I
just
moved.
that much better than them, that it ended a little faster than normal. But 6 is usual.
Yeah,
I do kind of like not want it to go on too long.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, this was 4 rounds. This was definitely
Okay.
4 rounds. Kind of feels in the 3-player game that might be too short to feel. And I don't know, maybe that was just poor board setup for me. I know I have like only won like 10% of Stratego games I've ever played. But I only play with a friend who is very good at Stratego, so
Yeah.
so who knows? Maybe that was
You-
poor board setup for me.
Would you say it's more the point total or the short, the compactness of the board, or a combination of the two? Because I mean, you could easily set the point total to 12, 13, or whatever. Um, I'm interested to see, like, did the board feel the appropriate size, or do you think it should be, one notch bigger or smaller or whatever?
I think that the victory points being so close to me feels like you just get in there and do it. And by round 2, you should be scoring. You can be scoring large victory points. By round 2, realistically, somebody could just be halfway to victory.
Are you saying that as a good thing or a problem, or indifferent?
I think in the 3-player, I think that's a problem.
Okay.
Uh, so is that the victory points? Is that the board too close? Hard for me to say. All of the victory points, other than the ship victory points, were pulled off of one player's board, which
Yeah.
I think is a little interesting, and I think that kind of says something about how compact the board is.
Yeah.
So I think my first instinct would go with making the board just a little bit larger.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I would concur. My previous 3-player test, there was a little too much dead space in between, and I may have overcorrected. Um, but yes, point taken. I will reflect on that and probably increase the size.
I think if it was slightly larger, what you'd see is you'd see your launch round, you'd see a skirmish round, then you'd see a hunting round, and then you'd come back in on a skirmish round, then a hunting round.
Yeah.
And kind of fall in that way. And I
Yeah,
think that feel like a good pattern.
Yeah, the biggest drawback to the larger board is when you get hit, it takes you a turn or a turn and a half to get that thing back into a useful position, which was a problem before. I could possibly move the airstrips up on a bigger board. That might help split the difference. Okay.
Yeah. All in all, very interesting. Enjoyed it. Would definitely like to play it again. Yeah, there's some cool things here. That I definitely like. I feel like I barely tapped into what the game's got here. Which is part of the reason why like I feel that the game was too short. But
Awesome.
but yeah. That's cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice. Right.
Okay, so I agree. I think it was too short, but I felt it in a different way because I was getting shot down all the time. So to me, it was the game went by so short and I had to keep restarting. I
Okay.
felt like I put a lot of effort into moving the same way over and over again to the same place. Like I was on a loop. So I didn't like get to the thing that I wanted to do. And then it was over. Um I I did love it. And I hope that the art gets gets really cool. And I think that it could be a lot of fun. And I like that it's three play. Like I think it would play really well at 3 players because I feel like there's like a movement happening that like in 2 players you just don't get. They're just like going at it, and so like there's some circularness to this. Like if I go left, he pivots, he comes towards mine. Um, some feedback from a mechanic perspective. I see a lot of games with cards like this where you pick an initiative card and you play it out. I was kind of hoping that like I couldn't replay the same two over and over again. So like the ones I choose in the beginning have an impact towards the end of the game when I don't have them anymore. And then when I run out of cards, I get to recycle all of them and use them again. I think that's something that I've seen well used in other games. That way I don't just keep
Sure.
moving, the same
Yeah.
game over and over again.
I've had other people assume that was the way it worked. I don't know if they've expressed a preference that they would want it to work that way. It's a little weird thematically, but I could probably work around that. Um, Other thoughts at the table? Would that feel more interesting, less interesting to you if your movement cards were temporarily exhausted?
Um, I mean, both are true, right? Thematically, it's weird. Gameplay wise, it's more interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, something to think about.
Something about like engines overheating, maybe. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um, I think that at one point my ship went down and I said that they died. They didn't die, they just got damaged. I would have liked it if the ship actually got damaged and not just went down. I think that could have solved my problem of having to respawn, and it might solve your problem of if you make the map bigger and you're worried about them having to come back into the
Yeah.
fray. If each ship just had like as many chips as it was its armor class, and they just lost the chips over time, it would get easier and
Okay.
easier to take the ship down. And then once it goes down, but you survive more than one hit. So it might seem like you're in the game for a little longer, but you know that you're like in trouble. I think
Okay.
that might have been thematically interesting to me because I just felt like, one shot and I was down.
Yeah.
Um,
That was trying to keep it simpler, but
okay.
I definitely have received the feedback in the past that it feels real bad to have to restart. The other thing I'm balancing is what we saw with that possibly overpowered special ability, that it's very hard to play defense if you can't get them. So I'm not
True.
entirely sure how to square that. But it is definitely something I've heard and am strongly considering.
I think that there's some like I think there's some juxtaposition between it being marketed or geared toward being a family game, but yet you have ships that can have like 3 or 4 upgrades at a time and asymmetric powers. I feel like that might be a lot to handle for that audience, and so
It
that's
is.
why I lean towards
Um,
that.
yeah. Okay.
That's something I saw because like my game's like medium weight and like it's okay that it all that stuff's all over the place. And
Yeah.
Outrun the Bears like I feel like simpler in that it's like but this is like in the middle of what I think the two are. So I think you can have the best of both worlds, but marketing it the right way is probably going to be a challenge if things stay the way they are.
For sure. Um, yeah, there's uh, one thing I've been considering is redesigning the placards and having a couple like lots so it is limited a bit more. But yeah, it is a bit of a problem, and I'm I'm kind of trying to have it both ways by having the extra stuff that and just say this is the advanced version. Um, I don't know how
Okay, yeah,
sellable
I
that
could see
is.
that. I think
But
that if you had like a couple slots, they could fill up, and then if you want to replace over them, you can
yeah,
replace over them, and then like as a kind of a default action for you feel like you haven't done enough, maybe you just like move one extra space would be. But I would have taken that action a lot to like further boost myself over
Mhm.
taking another upgrade. I think it would have taken that a lot more often. I felt like mobility
oh, okay,
was my hindrance in
yeah,
this game.
okay.
That's
Um, yeah, there actually is an upgrade that lets you do that. But I could just make
um,
that natural. I don't think it came up in this version.
Is
Oh,
it not the one that I took?
oh, did you get it? The boiler, I think.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. But I had a lot of fun. I think that it was a little short.
yeah,
So, and obviously I kind of caused it to be short because I put the 5 pointer up there and
yeah.
I did not understand how easy it would be to reveal it and then flip it over. So that's partly on me. I probably would have put it in the back, but that's for next time. Things
Well,
to
this
know.
one, this one's still standing. The one that was in the back was the one that got pegged.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But
Yeah.
it was going down. It was going
It
down.
was going down soon, but yeah,
I think those are my biggest feedbacks with it, but
oh,
obviously can talk more once Evan gives his feedback.
for sure. Thank you.
Yeah,
Totally, yeah.
Evan says is perfect because he won by such a crushing amount.
Obviously, the game's perfectly balanced. Because I'm just that good.
Just that
No,
good.
just to start at the top, like this is by far not the general thing, but Franklin's mapping, as Brian predicted, I definitely steer clear of anything where on a person's turn they are searching through a deck, reading and
Yeah,
evaluating tons of abilities, and then selecting one.
yeah,
I would just that's a lot.
it is. I
Um,
added that one today. Ill considered.
yeah, just super slow down. Uh, you know, you might be able to get away with swap it for one of the currently available ones, but even that's a lot of reading and considering. I just
Yeah,
yeah, I probably would just make it something you want instead of searching for something else that you might want.
sure.
The font headers, I really like your names, but the font you chose is really difficult to read.
Yeah, especially
So
on
I would just switch
simulator.
those to a
Uh,
easy to read font.
Seeing it in simulator, it's worse than in physical. But yeah, I
Yeah,
believe you're right.
because you're trying to add a little thematic touch, but if it makes it harder for
Yeah,
me to read your
I
awesome names, then yeah.
can should do that. I will.
um, let's see. Yeah, so initiative tie breaking is unnecessarily complex and fiddly.
Okay.
I think, in my opinion, right, where you're like passing this thing back and forth. You're like, wait.
Yeah,
Three of us are tied, so I'm going to give you the thing. Wait, and then you chose one, so then you give me the thing. Wait, but then the thing goes back to you because wait. Whose turn was
yeah,
it?
it's something that works very well at 2 and very less well at higher counts. I gotta figure out a better way.
So here are some options. Obviously, no option is particularly good or bad in and of itself. It's just how well does it fit in your game. But here's a couple
For sure.
options. You keep the tiebreaker in front of the same person for the entire round,
Mhm.
and then you move it for the next round.
Yeah.
That's one way. Another way is your card decks for each player. I don't know how many cards are in a hand, like 10 or something. Nine,
There is
8.
8, which is still more than I want, but
So
8
let's
at the
say
moment.
there's 8 times 4. I don't do math. What is that? 32.
Mhm.
Yes. Winning. So just number them 1 to 32, right? And
Yeah,
every player's hand has some smattering of those numbers that makes sense and is relatively balanced
yeah,
ish. And then there's no question whose number is higher.
for sure. Yeah, I didn't really want. I have considered that before. I didn't really want to go as high as like 30 or whatever, but
Yeah. Just like I said, these are just options.
sure.
Different ways of doing it.
Yeah, the first option you suggested was actually, I believe, one of the early iterations of this. I may just revert to that. But thank you for that. I will.
Yeah.
I do see as I do higher player count tests that the current version is less wieldy at higher counts.
Yeah.
I could throw out there that because your initiative is tied to the movement, and that movement is already pre-programmed, you could actually get rid of your initiative entirely and have all of that movement resolved simultaneously. And your only issue comes in with the action that you take after that movement. But
Mhm.
the only time that action you take after the movement is actually a problem is if two people were trying to bomb the same victory points. So then you just put in a collision for if two ships actually run into the same space that bounces them out of that space. And it gets rid of your one issue, and the whole game becomes simultaneous.
I could at least
Well,
try that.
if one
I'm kind of
ship
curious.
wants to shoot down another, the other one wouldn't get to take the action.
So
Right?
both ships actually resolve their action, and then you also get rid of the issue of you're
Yeah, that's
losing
true.
out in turn because your ship was
That's true.
shot down.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
all actions are resolved, but then your ship was shot down, and that's like the last thing that happens because of those actions.
Yeah, it definitely helps with the feel bad of like losing the turn. Um, I'm a little concerned about does it still allow the ability to play defense, but I think it's worth a try. I will keep that up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was another thing I thought about. Sorry, Evan. Was
No, go
like
ahead.
I would have liked to have put 2 cards on the same ship and leave one behind for defense if possible. So like put one offense and one defense instead of putting them both on the same one. Obviously, I'd skip my second turn, but
You want to move one ship twice?
yeah, or something like that.
Oh, I will think about that. I hadn't really considered that one. Um, I don't know how that would play out. Feels weird thematically, a little bit maybe, but it can always justify that.
Sorry, Evan.
No, you're good. You're good. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of what Sam was saying about simultaneous. Anytime a game can go simultaneous and
For
have it
sure.
work pretty well, like you're just saving yourself time mostly. And,
Yeah.
and
There
it's not.
was a bit of a slowdown as everyone was kind of trying to figure out who was next. It would be nice to get rid of that.
Yeah. Um, another option, like if for whatever reason you want to maintain the whole reveal of speed thing because you find that interesting. You can divorce movements from speed, right? And you just like have a programmed movement that everybody reveals, and then you have your speed card that you threw down. That like Brian was saying, it could be
And
like
that would be
once you use that
more,
speed, it's gone for the
yeah,
game or until you use them all or whatever. So you can mix and match just kind of whatever combination of feel and intention you want in the gameplay style. But
yeah.
there's a couple other options for you.
Yeah, I would say it's at least partially interesting, but I think as someone else already pointed out, it's certainly not unique. The main thing I'm trying to accomplish with that is the ability to play defense. And having a quick move to take the shot before they move. But
Right. Yeah,
there may
that's
be
why
other
you
ways
could do
to get.
that middle ground where moves are all.
Yeah, but then there's more cards and like even a touch more complexity, which is kind of the opposite of the way I want to
Sure.
go.
Yep.
So if it could be
Yeah.
simplified, I would rather go that direction and at least try that out.
Yeah. Totally. The die roll combat. Um, Maybe it's just the weight of the game and my dislike of dice combat generally.
Sure.
But to me, there's no like judge there.
Okay.
Like I'm like, roll a die. It's high enough or it's not. Um, Interesting decision and that mechanic don't align for me. I do like that I can upgrade items that increase my attack roll because that's an actual way of mitigating that randomness.
Yeah.
So that's why I took that slide rule. But I don't know. I'm just
I, I
wondering if.
I did like the decision point where you decided not to shoot because the odds weren't good enough and took the
Hmm.
sure thing. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I want it light, I was trying to keep it simple. There are probably other ways to get about it. I can mess with other options. I mean, it works. I would agree. It's certainly not um, unique for sure.
For the current weight and length of the game, it's
Mhm.
totally fine. It's
Yeah,
totally fine. My
it's
brain's just
fine.
like,
It
is there
maybe
something
could be
more
better.
interesting that could happen? But um, let me see. Having a turn where you do nothing, unsurprisingly, feels really bad. I think Brian experienced that a whole bunch. I experienced it once, and I was like, "That sucks." And I think that happened to Brian like 3 times or something with that green ship.
Yeah,
Um, so obviously, just like anything else, there's a bunch of different things to do about that. But that's where it's at. Um,
for sure.
the just that card that looks like you're turning your ship when you're not, the cogwheel.
Yeah,
You know, that it looks like you're turning your ship and you're not. Let's see. My ability, I thought it was totally useless, and Sam corrected me. It is only mostly useless. There is that scenario where you would want to use it in that way to get back over to the other side of the map quickly. It's like sacrifice your turn, go back over here. So I could see maybe that happening if I planned for it. Maybe once in a game.
yeah.
Maybe, probably not. It's probably not effective enough to maintain. But I don't know. Maybe players will choose it and plan around it, and they will love it, and you should keep it. I don't know. Let's see. Talked about the hand. How you can divorce the maneuvers from the numbers. It did feel weird that I get to pick all of my options all the time, every time. Like Brian was saying.
Noted.
Um, it is more of an interesting decision if you're, if what you're doing this round is going to affect you in the future. Um, although I personally would just go with the no, which just everything happens. But I like
Or with the
straightforward.
what? I'm sorry.
Oh, what Sam was saying earlier, which is everything happens. You move forward.
Yeah.
But
Those are kind of like different things. I do definitely want to try the simultaneous movement. You could do that with or without exhausting the card, I would say. Not sure if I want to try that, but it's not the first time I've heard it. So, and like I said, other people have kind of assumed that it works that way.
yeah. You can try. You
So I
can
should
take it or leave it.
probably
We're
at
just
least
throwing out
I
stuff.
should probably at least try it. Okay.
Um, bombing. So your scoring system
Mhm.
is another point of swingy luck. Because you've got 1, 3, 5, and the game goes to 10. And I randomly ran over some high value stuff, and the game ended. I didn't feel like I played particularly well to deserve that. I mean, I did play well, but not enough to be that much higher than what everybody else was doing. So there,
Well, I
obviously,
will say that is kind of by intention so that your kid can legit beat you.
sure,
Um, so not everyone's gonna like that.
yeah,
Um, but it's there purposefully, whether it's a
okay.
good idea or not. I can say, but it's on purpose.
I mean, that's a reasonable, factor is if you're definitely targeting families with young kids,
Yeah,
high luck is good
yeah.
because then the kid can beat the parent legit without the parent going easy on them.
Yeah.
Um,
I would say from experience with the family weight game, though, the kid will much more enjoy just shooting dad's ship than he will enjoy winning the game because he ran over 5 victory points.
That is an
That's true.
excellent point.
yeah, that's probably
That is an
true.
excellent point.
That's probably true. Yeah. Um, but if you were looking to reduce that a bit, obviously you can modify point values. It can be 1, 2, 3 instead of one, three,
For sure.
five.
Hmm.
And then everybody might feel like they have a little bit closer of a chance, even though there's still the luck involved. Um, or you could make bombing take a die roll, where if I'm going to get that 5 chip, then guess what? I'm going to have to roll a 6, or maybe I've got +2 to my roll, so I have to roll a 4 or whatever to hit the 5. So and then that would maintain combat working the same whether you're bombing or shooting a ship, which could be nice. That's another way of mitigating that a little bit. And then the getting hit and losing a turn and respawning. Not only is it, I can't imagine the theme on that. Um, where you get hit and then all of a sudden you're back at your airstrip. Um, like it
You
works
fly
like
out for repairs.
it works like a lot of video games, but
Sure.
that doesn't make it thematic. Um, I actually really, really like the idea of, you know, kind of what Brian was talking about, where you have like armor, and every time you get hit, you're removing one, but it makes you easier to hit. Um,
Okay.
it is more complex, and I understand maybe that just doesn't fit, what you're doing. But I liked that idea, and I think I would engage with that more. And
Yeah, I wanted
um,
like an air dogfight,
yeah,
but it didn't happen.
yeah,
Okay.
and then your upgrade could be adding an armor back on or whatever, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Add an armor, add a move, whatever. Or if you just want to take away the bad feeling of never being able to do anything with a ship without changing your system significantly, you can just say every ship gets 2 hits before it respawns. Then at least you can go out there and do something. You're guaranteed to
Yeah.
make it somewhere and do
I think
something.
if the board gets bigger, yeah, maybe I could do that. Okay.
Um, so yeah, obviously just lots of different options.
Indeed.
But I think the problem that does exist is you can get in that loop that the green ship got in,
For
where
sure.
you're like, I'm gonna go do something. Nope. I'm gonna go do something. Nope. It was a whole lot. It was pretty brutal, and I only experienced it once. Um, and um, and I think that's also gonna feel bad for kids too, even with So anyway,
Yeah, I would agree. That is definitely a problem. I've got to find a way to deal with that.
yeah. So
Not
so
so bad when you're playing against mom and dad, but when you're playing against older brother, oh man, does this game suck.
shut down again. No.
Man,
Um,
awesome.
but I like the basic. I like the basic thing that we're doing. I like the adorable names. I personally like the theory of the asymmetry that you started working on. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with it.
Awesome.
Did I answer your question? Board size and shape. Um, I don't have a strong opinion on it. Don't have a strong opinion. I would have to. Yeah, I think it matters a lot where you end up with. Does an upgrade allow you to move an extra time? Um, like where you end up with total movement capacity and stuff in the current iteration, and it would matter a lot at how many hits your ship can take. Current iteration, I think we're all too close because you don't get to do anything and your ship can get shot down. But I don't even think making the board wider solves that. Actually, I think that actually makes that problem worse. So
Yeah, that's why I shrunk it.
yeah,
But yeah, maybe some of the other path will solve it in a more elegant manner.
but I think
I
with some other changes, I think the board size could be fine.
Yeah. Sorry, someone was jumping in there.
oh, I was gonna say I really liked that when you flipped over the anti-aircraft artillery, it like did something if you went back over it. And like we jokingly said something about the tank, but like I would have loved to if I had like if the tank I can like move it one space out of the way one time or something. And like the one that's 5 points could be like something else, you know? Like I don't know if
Yeah.
I've seen it where like you reveal something and it's good for them, they know where it is, but it's also bad for them because the person
Now
gets
it
to
does
do a
something.
thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that seemed
You're not the
like
first person.
I got a moment of joy out of that.
Yeah. Hey, now
You're
on my
you're not the
turn, I get
first.
to start rolling these tanks over, man. You better look out.
One of the earliest iterations of the three-player version of this actually had the third player playing as tanks.
Mm.
With a like almost completely different rule set, but it was just too
Oh,
complicated for the weight that I wanted. It was a cool idea, but it like doubled the size of the rule book. I'm like, this is the um, but yeah, you're not the first person to have suggested
oh
that.
man,
Like I said, that's kind of
saltines.
why I meant to change all of them to the bunkers. It is interesting. I do worry about adding more complexity. I have more than I want as the moment. But this could be relatively simple if I get rid of initiative. Maybe there's room for that.
Yeah, some ebb and flow
But
that
I'll
will
take the
happen.
point of, you know, targets doing something might be cool,
Yeah,
Yeah.
whether
Yep.
that's movement or not.
totally.
And you know what? The thing I'm describing could be a completely different game. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
Okay, Steven, anything
Yes.
else that you were hoping we would cover or that came up for you that you wanted to ask us that we didn't really cover?
No, I think we covered it. Like I said, my main goals were about the size and more indirectly, the real problem about the feel bad moment of not being able to move and getting the right game length. I think we talked about that pretty thoroughly. Um, some of the new cards people seemed interested in, some of the new cards seemed ill-advised. But on the balance, I put more variety in here, and people were picking things at variety, so I was happy to see that. Yeah, I think we got my main questions answered.
Cool. Awesome. Any last minute things from you, Brian or Sam? You didn't get to say? Cool. Awesome. Well, gang, excellent work. It is 10:08 on the West Coast. That was maybe a record for speed.
I'm still awake. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Are you
So-
which time zone are you?
Maine, the other
Oh,
Portland.
yeah, all the way time zone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on East Coast as well.
Okay,
Getting a little loopy.
yeah. So let's get the heck out of here. Sam, tell the kids at home how they can find and support what you're working on.
Yeah, go check out outrunthebeargame.com if you're interested in a survival racing game or a take that racing game, either a great family one or a great late night ruckus game. Or just watch me or talk to me on Facebook, Samuel Barmettler, in all the design Facebook groups.
Nice. Brian.
You can find us at emberleafgames.com. You can find our Kickstarter for Fame and Fortune on Kickstarter with an ampersand sign instead of the word and. And if you're interested in a cooperative 2 to 7 player fantasy skirmish game, kind of like D&D, but just right down to the action. I'm also on the other groups on Facebook as Brian Picarillo.
Awesome. Stephen, how can people find and support this or anything else you've been working on?
Yeah, you can find me on Blue Sky. It's my last name Vesci, Vesci, first initial S. I'm on Facebook at Stephen Vesci. If you're in Northeast Ohio and want to come to our design meetups, it's protocle.org. And you'll probably find me at any of the Midwest Protospiels if you'd like to come to those.
Awesome. You can find me on Facebook and various conventions across the country, although I'm going to less this year. Evan Halbert on Facebook. I don't. There's a couple of us, but not too many. And you can go out and buy 82 copies of After the Empire and everything else that comes out in the future that has my name on the box. Thanks everybody who ends up watching this. Eric who stopped by, and Steven, thanks for bringing your game on. That was a lot of fun. Brian,
Thank you
Sam,
all. Very helpful.
thanks for playing. Let's let the East Coasters go to bed, huh? Cool.
Have
All
a
right,
good night, all.
everybody. Have a good night. We are